Hello, good morning. Happy Sunday. We have 400,000 subscribers, so that's a thing. I think we do. Hold on, let me look because I put that out on the Twitter and we lost 6 subscribers just from doing that. So I was worried that once I came out here for the mover mailbag, it would be below 400,000 and then it wouldn't be a 400,000 subscriber special. So good morning. Hello, impromptu mover mailbag. I haven't done one of these in a while. Actually, I don't think I've done one all month. It's kind of rough couple months. I haven't really wanted to do it because I've been afraid of talking about the dogs. Because last time it was right after I lost Sniper, and then a week ago, for those of you that don't know, I lost Kaiser, and so I've kind of just been avoiding it because I know that's a common question. But I am going to do a video on life with Mover eventually about the pups, just how I got them and the life and kind of how we lost them. And that'll be on that channel. Although I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that channel in the long term, because I think a lot of it just needs to move back to this channel and just do one channel. But that's just me. Gonky says I still need to keep 2 channels, but I would like to bring the race car stuff back here. Like, I think re-uploading the stuff from earlier this year would probably do better on this channel, and kind of making it all things fast, I guess, on this channel. But yeah, so that's where we're at. We've been doing the Gonky Mover show, which I think is going well. I really like the way it's working out in general. Gonky's got his internet fixed and audio fixed, and now he's got a real professional setup. And it really works because Monday we do the show, and then Tuesday I spend all day editing, and then basically we're putting out small videos all week. I'm still going to do Mover Ruins movies. I think the next one on the list is Sully, if I can get Wombat to join me, or it's going to be Called to Duty, which you guys have sent me. In fact, it's even in the Mover mailbag. People have asked about it, and it is everything you hoped it would be. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna watch it. And then there's an AIB report on the F-35. I need to find time to do. Probably be a couple weeks because this week's a little busy. And then next weekend. So for those of you who wanted to know about the job stuff, I did find another military job. It's non-flying. Not really gonna talk about it yet until I in process and know kind of what the boundaries are, because I don't want to get into that again. But I think I'm going to be able to help a lot of people in the new job, and probably be better than what I got. So I have some experience in what I'm going to do. It's just that it's the wrong end of that experience, and so hopefully I'll be the change I want to see and help people out. So yeah, so we got that. So what? Let's take a look at what you guys have said so far. And then we'll get to the emails. 400,000 subscribers. Congrats. I appreciate it, Smitty. I know you've been a part of the channel for a while. Jason, also 400,000. Congrats. Thank you. Kate, 400,000. Congrats. Personally, I wish I were in Denver, Colorado. I'm in Mandeville, Louisiana, where it is 4,000 degrees outside already. It's hot. We went for a walk with Luna Bell this morning, and I was sweating. We did about 2 miles, and very, very hot. Adele says, congrats, Mover. You'll have that 500,000 plaque in no time. I don't know that there is one. I think they just give you 100,000 and then $1 million. I don't know that they do anything in between, but if they do, that'll be cool. Yeah, first privately owned Block 30 Big Mouth. Boy, that would be a GoFundMe and a half. It would be cool, though, have an airplane. And the beard is coming in nicely. The end of the beard. So I'll be on the show tomorrow night with the beard, and then after that, no more beard, because I got the new job. So once a month, I'm going to shave the beard. Just the military side. And yeah, Miso says, sorry to hear about Kaiser and Sniper. Me too. 14 years of my life with them, 14 years of their life. Sniper was 14, Kaiser was 12. And if you'd have said that this was going to be the year that I'd lose them both, I'd have said no way. And here we are. It's been a rough 2 years. Last year was pretty much the loss of my military flying career. And that was very stressful and a very tough time. And then this year, losing the boys has just been more to it. So, yeah. And Smitty says, so will you get to retire? Hopefully. I guess it just depends on what track I go. I don't think I'm promotable anymore. There's always a chance, but if I am, then I can go all the way to 28 years. If I am not, then I would need a mandatory separation date extension to 24 years. But at the very least, I'll get 2 more years and get to 20, which is where I was about to fall short. I was about to be kicked out at 18 years. So that's good that I got that. P51 for that question as well. So let's see. It's also 4,000 degrees in Alabama. Yep. Rats mover. Love the beard. Thank you. It's gone, man. I'm going to be sad. You guys aren't going to recognize me in a week. I got out 30 November. It's interesting to see what you may be doing other than standard Air Force, post Air Force airline. We'll see. We'll see. For just 40 cents, you can get Mover's own Viper. Let's get Mover sponsored to race Daytona next year. Why don't we worry about that first? That would be better. So, hi, there's a movie called Sonic Impact. Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know. People liking the beer today. Okay, so we've actually got actual mail, and that's how long it's been since I've done one of these. This one, I'm back. I actually opened it to make sure it wasn't anthrax, but I haven't actually looked into it. This one was sent from across the pond, and please make sure if you send me something, you remind me and you tell me, and then you remind me again, because the only reason this did not get sent back to you was because the post office is the post office. Because when I went to the mailbox, I got hey, we've got a package for you. And then I got a notification, like in that same clump of mail, that said, we've sent this mail back because you didn't open it. And I just happened to walk over there and I'm like, hey, are you sure? And they're like, no, it's in the back. So we got lucky on this one. But by the bureaucracy do we survive. So this is from Alan. Alan, I think you're in the chat, aren't you? Yeah, Alan. So he says, hello, not so much this letter, but the package has been about 2 years in the making. Been watching for 18 to 24 months. Already consumed the first few Spectre books. When I decided, remind me, we'll talk about the new sci-fi book that I've been working on too. And quit toying with my emotions. Just got over the whole no spoilers there. I guess as a first, which sparked the package, the SAS Survival Handbook. It's a book I've owned since I was around 10. Lost my original copy. I figured everyone should have a copy of this. Swinging back to the top of the box, some soft squeakers for the doggos, because you got to have toys for whatever profession your paw has. Let's see. I mean, Luna will appreciate that. I trashed USB SDR as promised for preemptive OPSEC reasons. That's a good idea. I think, who was it? Angry Cops got a USB, and that became a whole thing. We're left with a mix of 3D prints, which include plethora of birds in various colors, bag cut slot models, various aircraft, orange phone holder. Good Lord, this is like a whole thing. Let's see. Out the elevators look a little droopy. Perhaps the artist drew a park jet. Do Vipers turn them down when parked? Hydraulics off. Check the model. Doesn't seem a printing error. Red one's armed to the teeth. We'll take a look at that. I know you received challenge coins of nothing on it, but you see a little orange shield keychain with a lion and a Dundee United. Anyway, I've described the prints to no end. I'm supposed to talk about how much of an impact the book made on me as a kid and why I gave it to you. I don't need to tell you how much I could go on. Wrap up by saying we all love what you're doing. I can tell by many in the chat and comments who have taken you and your extended family on as your brothers in arms. We don't all serve, but life can be war sometimes. That is very true. Count myself among the many who have adopted you in this way, from the no-nonsense movies, dismissing silly TikTok alien viral news. Boy, we're going to light up the internet tomorrow with that one. We know it's no spin, no BS, no fishing for views, clickbait, or no clickbait, high numbers, and then folds of honor. Please pass on my regards to Gonky, Wombat, Lester, Deuce, the good people at the Harrison County, which, by the way, there's this dude that's trolling these videos that, for whatever reason, keeps calling me a corrupt deputy with Harris County, which is in Houston. I've never worked in Houston. I'm not a corrupt deputy. Even if I had been, which I do, I am a deputy, but I'm not corrupt. And I'm not in Harris County. Never worked in any other place but a parish. So anyway, Larry, the tower guy over at Lakefront Crayons, Doug, and tell the Rain Man we miss him. Yeah, Raymond, man. Let me get Raymond back on here. Also tell CC, your viewer, I'm not ignoring. I'll upload some guitar, but at current backlog rate, it might take a minute. Sincerely, Alan, that is a great letter. I appreciate that. And let's check a look. There's a lot of stuff in here. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. A little Viper with 2 bags, bombs. It's like it's going to war. Here's Dundee United. You guys from across the pond, I believe this is for soccer, not Fight Club, as I originally thought when I saw an FC. I think Fight Club would be more interesting personally. This little guy, the phone holder, that's cool. Tomcats. That over there. Put the little Fight Club guy over here. Let's see. This is a toy that Luna, guarantee Luna will have this assembled. Where you at? I need a Luna cam. Nothing? Nothing. She didn't show up. Nothing? Okay. Well, when she decides, she might be outside. She's got a doggy door. She does whatever she wants. She runs the house. Speaking of Luna, so one of the things I'm thinking about doing is getting her funding if we can find funding, if I can find the funding, is getting her certified as a therapy dog and then using her for that purpose, therapy, letting her help others as much as she's helped me. Because really what's gotten me through losing both boys has been Luna. It's a different kind of squeak if she shows up. Luna Bell. Nothing. Okay. Well, she is prone to doing whatever. Nope. Nothing. Okay. She must not be within earshot because she is all about the squeakers. This is a bag. Oh, this is the 3D printed stuff. Okay. I'm not going to open all of those because that's a lot. Oh my gosh. Wow. There's another Viper. A whole cadre of 20 Mike. 30 Mike. No, 30 Mike. Yeah, 30 Mike. Give me 30 Mike envy. And then SAS Survival Handbook. That would be good for Cowboy in the books, right? He was SES. Cool. Awesome. I think that's it. We talked about everything else. Alan, you are the man. That is. Well, there she is. Hey, Lou Bell. And she's hauling it off. Good. She likes it. Uh-oh. Don't reload site. We'd be in trouble. That's 30 Mike, not 20. Cool. Thanks, Alan. We're still on the hide current comment. Let's see here. What else have we all talked about? There you go. Alan says, I'm here. No Anthrax opted for not bugging the life out of his usual silence was a bad choice. No, it's good, man. It's awesome. You need to go fly the Civi Viper. I wish there was a job, man. I'll tell you, if I could have gotten one of my viewers sent me a Boeing job flying Super Hornets, and I was like, man, if I could get that, that'd have been awesome. But alas, it wasn't meant to be. Great on the job. It's nothing super special. It's just going to get me to 20 non-flying. So, yeah, only a corrupt deputy would say they're not corrupt. That's true. But would a corrupt deputy say they're corrupt? I don't know. We're in a lot of things. Don't feed the trolls. No, but I do like to call out stupidity wherever possible. So there's no exceptions. Yeah, Luna, the squeaker toy. So Duncan says, yeah, my dog destroys those squeaker toys pretty quickly too. Yeah, I knew it was bad when I found a squeaker in her poop, which made me a little concerned the other day. But so far, look, she's wagging her tail. I wish I could. I need a Luna cam. She loves this. She's here. I'll post this. If you guys are following me on Twitter at CW Lemoyne, I will post it. Because she's having a good time. And disregard the wire. I'll eventually do that. We had to get a hardwire for the show. Anyway, we know there's none yet. I need to. I guess that would be something for the other channel for Days of Thunder. I don't know. He said that much must have taken weeks to print. It had to. It had to. There's good eating on a squirrel, but beware they're vicious when cornered. This is all. Oh, that's from the book. Yes. Yes, of course. I haven't read the book yet. I just got the book. Christopher says, "Love and prayers for your loss. My first pet is now a 17-year-old dog, and I probably don't have much time with it. Just enjoy every moment you have." I knew it was coming, so to speak. With Sniper. So he had cancer in 2021, and we did surgery and removed it. Thought we were great. Came back. We drained 1,500 milliliters of fluid from his lungs. He was drowning back in March, and thought that was going to be okay. We're just going to drain fluid, and he was on Palladia, and then she's going to squeak now. And then there was that time where it just stopped working, and he was coughing, and it got to the point where if I didn't do something for him, I was going to find him somewhere. So I wanted to be there with him for that. And Kaiser, I actually thought I was going to lose Kaiser before Sniper, because probably in December of last year, he was diagnosed with a degenerative spinal disease, lumbral sacral disease or something like that. And he started losing function in his back legs and losing bowel control, bladder control and stuff. And man, I mean, the thousands I spent on physical therapy, laser treatments, acupuncture, everything I thought I could do to help him. And, we did epidurals and had him on supplements, all kind of stuff, injections, everything. It just kept getting worse. And eventually got to the point where he was miserable. He was embarrassed. He was sad. He couldn't get up. He'd fall, and the last day he was just in so much pain. So I kind of saw it coming. It wasn't fun. You still don't think you did enough, and you don't think you were there for him enough. But, yeah. Luna Bell. So how's Luna doing? She's behind me. She's great. She's, she's a dog. And like I said, I'll talk about this when I do the video, but she's a trash bag dog, right? They found her her entire litter in a trash bag in a dumpster behind a gas station in Arkansas. And I was fostering her for this rescue because I said I want to try it out, because I didn't know how she'd do with the boys because they were older. And I started to bring her back because I didn't think it was working out. I didn't think Kaiser liked her or Sniper. And she cried and cried. And, I talked to the agency, and they were like, yeah, you should give her some more time because it had only been a couple days, maybe a week. And as soon as I turned around, she stopped crying. And honestly, it's the best decision I've ever made. I mean, she's the only reason I'm able to even halfway talk about this right now is because of her. 1000%. And that's why I took her to a thing I was doing, helping the public information officer with a thing on the other day with the sheriff's office. And it was just to, go ride up there, set up something and come back, and kind of got the idea of maybe making her a therapy dog, because as good as she is with me and with other dogs, and, she just knows how to match energy. I think she could probably, because she's so disarming with her looks, and, she's got two colored eyes and little flipper flopper ears and stuff. I think she would be a good asset to help other people in a time of need or crisis or whatever. And so I'm hoping there's a way I can figure that out and get her the training she needs, and help her help others, make it something we can do together. So, yeah. Saw Michelle Curran flying in the backseat of MiG-29. I've been trying to do that forever. Fortunately, a friend of mine that knew Jared Isaacman passed away not too long ago. But yeah, I was trying to set that up for a while and just never could do it. Not on Twitter due to banning. Oh no, they're not Twitter anymore. It's X. Maybe try it again. Can we see you and maybe Gonky try out firefighting for a day? It's a lot of napping, right? Napping and PlayStation. I'm very good at both of those things. God bless our second responders. For legal reasons, this is a joke. I love our firefighters. Who is your favorite NASCAR driver, past or present? I've been Kyle Busch guy for almost 20 years. Would love to see you in an RCR car, man. I'd love to be in an RCR car. Kyle Busch has grown on me since he's matured. I think he's a lot more like Dale was now. Blaney impressed me a lot when he won and didn't do a burnout, because I think that's the utter professional, act like you've been there. So I really respected him, and I think he's a cool guy. So I kind of root for him just for that reason. But I don't really have a favorite per se. It's not like it was old school, but I do enjoy watching all the series now. I'm Arca, I like to see Frankie Muniz. I'd like to see him do well. Greg Van Alst, once he won Daytona, I've kind of kept up with him and his Xfinity debut. It just depends on the series, and it just depends. Mover, why didn't you go to Oshkosh? If you're at Oshkosh right now, well, he's probably coming home now. But Lester was at Oshkosh. Hopefully, people saw him. I saw a picture of him. He was wearing a shirt, and his top of T-shirt. I didn't go because I didn't have a reason to go. Well, prior to that, I haven't been traveling much because of the boys, because Kaiser could not travel, and I didn't want to leave him. Especially knowing it was close to the end. I can travel a lot more now because Luna's a good travel girl. But I've never gone just because I have nothing cool to fly. Like if I had a jet to show up in, that'd be cool. If I had something cool to fly, P-51, cool helicopter maybe. But just, flying commercial or driving up there, it seems kind of, I hear you, man. My parents' dog just had surgery to reattach a ruptured tendon in her rear leg. They kept her at the vet for a couple of days. My parents were going nuts not having her. Yeah. I mean, both boys had dual CCL surgeries. And one of my biggest regrets with Kaiser. So if you have a big dog, I mean, it worked out. But there's different ways you can do it. Tibial plateau leveling osteotomy versus lateral suture. And the very first one, I was new to it, didn't know anything about it. The vet said, hey, we can do this. And it's like a fishing line. They just wrap it around, and then the scar tissue forms around the torn tendon. And we did that with him. It was very unstable for most of his life. He was never really the same. And then the second one we did TPLO. It's just more expensive. But Sniper, we just did a TPLO about 8 months before he died. And, I don't regret it. It's one of those things you do it because those dogs saved my life, and I was going to do anything I could for them. It just, it's just the way it is. It sucks. We're born with an expiration date, and unfortunately dogs have a much, much, much shorter time on this earth. Who puts a litter of puppies in a trash bag? I have asked that question all the time. I'd love to find them. I'd love to find them. Adrian says, shipping out to Air Force basic training. Keep your head down. Do what they tell you. Help your squad mates. What do they call them in basic? I don't know. Help your people. Don't discount. No, I'm absolutely not. I'm very grateful to be able to get a retirement. It's just sad what got us to this point. That's the only thing I'm kind of a little bit sad about. That Gonky and I both should have had much different paths at the end. Mover, your devotion to your dog as your sacrifice for them is beautiful. That's enough sentimentality, but sure, I mean, I think dogs are the best. Luna's eyes are so pretty. They are. They're very human. She's got very human emotions from her eyes. It's very, yeah. Let's see, dragging hoses, or do they even do that anymore? Is it all automated? I don't know. What's your most meows in a traffic stop? I've never done a meow in a traffic stop. I'm always too hyper vigilant, I guess. I don't want to say hyper, but I'm vigilant, because it's like traffic stops are the most dangerous thing you can do. So I try to be as professional as I can. I don't play the, hey, do you know why I stopped you game either. It's pretty much, here's who I am. Here's why I stopped you. Do you have any mitigating circumstances? What's going on? And then, we proceed from there. If I can correct the behavior on the spot, then I will issue a warning. And if not, if I believe it's something that's more egregious, like say 25 over in a residential area, it's probably going to be a citation. I mean, it's just, it's officer discretion, but, I try to do what's best for the public, because that's all it is. I'm volunteering. I'm serving the public. I'm not here to, for ego or anything like that. I'm just trying to help. Let's see. After your fruitful career, do you think that going to the airlines after the military was a good choice? It is. I mean, the airlines are a great profession. It's great for everybody. Some people like it better than others. So, I mean, it depends on the airline you fly for, the work rules. Don't I think people get distracted by pay rates and don't look at the work rules. You know, what good is it if you're making 20, 30 grand a month if you're working all the time and always gone? But always, always look at the big picture. It was great to see Luna in the helicopter. Yeah, she did great. I found her headphones, thankfully, for next time, but she's a good girl. She's just a good dog. Afternoon from the UK. Is there any more DCS videos? Yes. Yes. So Gonky is finally going to have some free time in August, I think. And my pitch to him was, let's do historical periods. So let's do a World War II, Korean fighters, Vietnam fighters, if they have those in DCS. We'll have to figure that out. Cold War, and then, like 90s and et cetera. So hopefully we'll be able to get videos for each one of those because I think it'll be fun. Mover does not need an old school 172. No, I've lost nothing. And I did all that. I've paid those dues. Our squadron didn't have the funding for Oshkosh, and now I'm broke in Raleigh. Ugh, that sucks. My collie Mix had TPLO surgery 2 months ago. Yeah, it's expensive, but prognosis is good. I mean, it's of the options, it's the best. So inspired to get another dog now. It's been years. It's an emotional roller coaster, and yet so fulfilling for both parties. After losing both boys, I've said I'm not going to do another dog. One, because it just hurts so bad, and two, because it's easier with one dog. As long as I can keep us both active and together, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try just me and Luna and see how that goes. And if it doesn't work out, yeah, or I always say all 3 dogs adopted me. So if another dog were to come into our lives somehow and adopt me, I'm not going to say no. Did you own a C6 Corvette? I owned 2 of them, actually. I owned a Grand Sport convertible, and then I traded that in and got a 2009 01, which I had until I got rid of it in 2011. No, 2014. Shoot, for all the good you're doing for the military, especially the Air Force and Navy, they could lend you a 2-seat of your choice in any paint scheme so you can dive fly to shows. Yeah, you would think that the Air Force or Navy would appreciate, but they don't. It's quite the opposite, actually. Oshkosh does sound fun, though. I think it does sound fun. It's something I would do. It's just I want to show up in something. I don't want to just drive up there. Does Conky stream in the same room with you, or do you guys both love puke-colored paint? Like, what's with the haters, Doctor? Just mean. Actually, in regards to firefighting, it could be interesting to see Mover do something on aerial firefighting. Yeah, I actually know a guy that took a job doing that. Laura says, I hate the "do you know why I stopped you" game. Of course, I know the speedometer is right there. Yeah, to me, it's you identify yourself. Here's why I stopped you. You identify yourself to me with your identification, license, registration, proof of insurance, and I'll tell you why I stopped you. And then we can talk about whether it's correctable or not. If you've got a good reason, or if I believe that, it's something you're not going to do again, or that the stop itself is corrective, then we go from there. You earn moving beyond just a simple warning. If it's something where it's like, hey, you are doing something very egregious, and there's a sense that you're not going to kind of get it just from a warning, then yeah, we'll do more corrective actions. But it just depends. It's all about the situation and kind of what led to that point. Mover, why didn't you try joining as test pilot? I have, actually. I've applied to both Lockheed and Boeing and never gotten a call. I didn't go to test pilot school, so that's part of it. I've even applied to Top Aces for the Viper, just never gotten past it. Yeah, I am still flying. I'm not flying I'm on leave. I'm on leave for till March next year. Have you guys seen the guys on YouTube who go? No, have not. Let's see. Test pilot, super fun. Requirements. It's usually like an engineering degree, technical degree, test pilot, school graduate helps. Something like that. I went to college to become a cop, ended up in the Air Force as a CISO, then a pilot. I couldn't do the cop thing. So much respect. I, I think it depends on where you're doing this and the agency you're doing it for. If it's a good agency that supports their officers slash deputies and a community that for the most part supports their officers slash deputies, I think it's a very fulfilling thing to do. If you're in a place that does neither of those things and you've got like a DA that is anti enforcement of the laws they've been sworn to enforce, very tough. I wouldn't do that either. Donkey mentioned the F4 in the Q&A. Yeah, I don't know if it's when it's going to be available. I love having a beard. I mean, this would be my default look if I were allowed to do so. Unfortunately, I'm not. So, sorry, officer, my wife's in labor and I'm late to work. Police want you to admit your crime. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter if you admit it or not. I mean, yeah, it helps in court, but typically if I'm going to write you a ticket, I'm pretty sure not pretty sure, I am sure that regardless of whether you admit it or not, I will be able to defend it in court. So admitting it to me isn't going to change your chances. In fact, it's probably more likely that, hey, okay, here's your warning, versus if you just lie and play the, I don't talk to cops thing. I mean, okay, then we'll just talk about it in court then. See you later. Do you folks in the left seat have due care and attention laws? For those in the UK, it's not wise to say you don't know how fast you're going. No, we don't have that. Because I'm smoking hot and you wanted my number. I don't write pretty girls tickets here. Sign here. Press hard, 3 copies. We're talking too much cop stuff now. Hey, Mover, would be a nice video of things people do in DCS that aren't realistic. Oof. So some of that's classified. That's going to be a tough one. I mean, yes, there's stuff we can do, especially like people doing the paddle switch. That is never realistic, but everybody does in the Hornet. Yeah, I don't know. Mike, I actually don't know anything about the carrier. I mean, I spent a week on a boat and I learned nothing other than I don't want to spend a week on a boat. Remember, I'm an Air Force guy that spent some time in the Navy versus Gonky, who's a Navy guy who spent some time in the Air Force. Do you ever get sovereign people? No. I've watched those videos on YouTube, though. Yeah. Does the Navy still use contract pilots? Yes, they do. Still do. Okay. I'm a cool guy, dude. No, I'm not. I'm just a normal dude. Well, you see, officer, I paid too much for the Z06 not to use the whole speedometer. Yeah, there you go. My brother's a 25-year deputy in the Houston area. Stories of the politics sad. These gals should never be concerned about support equipment. And that's what it is. It just depends. It's 927. That's a good question. I fly helicopters, so I don't usually care other than when they use it. I haven't seen it open in a while. That's not to say it's not. Oh, boy. So you get a chance to join the FBI or CIA. Who would you choose and why? So there was actually, I tried both of them. Back when I was in Florida, I went through the entire FBI special agent hiring process. So I did the test, and then they invite you back for a structured interview, which I crushed because most of the people those dudes talk to are accountants and lawyers and nerds, and they're not fighter pilots. So when you walk in there with fighter pilot stories of how you led a 4VX or you did combat in Iraq, it's usually gets their attention, and they were very enthusiastic to offer me employment. I didn't take it because at the same time, the squadron I was in finally figured out how to give me 3 years of seasoning orders, active duty time. And the special agent that was working the hiring at the time said, no, you're in a key federal position. George Bush just did something with it back in the day. And you're going to have to get out of the reserves. If you want to keep doing that, you can't fly anymore. And I said, absolutely not. I'm not going to choose, I'll either do both or none, or one, which was flying fighters. In hindsight, I'm very glad because I think that agency has had a lot of issues, and there's a lot of public trust that's missing. I also was looking in the CIA because I was reading Mitch Rapp novels and stuff like that, but never really moved past that. By then, I had the dogs, and I didn't want to leave them, and go do stuff like that. So, Anyway, yeah, that was the two times. But in hindsight, would I do the FBI? Absolutely not. Not right now. No, they've got the 3-letter agencies have a lot of work to do. Of any of them. What's a kilometer? That's all I'm going to say. I've been watching a lot of traffic stop body cam vids lately. There's some interesting people out there. Yeah, there are. There are a lot of interesting people, good or bad. You know, you encounter all kinds. Does fighter pilots have designated jets? No, and Gonki's got Gonki. We talked about this on the Mover and Gonki show recently, and no, if you had designated jets, you would never fly. It would just be too difficult. So no, we don't do that. Hey, I've got more mail, by the way. I forgot. So ADD here. You guys are asking so many questions. I forgot. All right. Did you see Gonki's stream yesterday? I mean, he had like 300 and something people watching. It was great. So this one's from Paul. Luna thinks it's food. Ooh. It's a book. Douglas, it's that book. Oh, Douglas is not here. Cool. We'll read this. This is awesome. A Legacy Drive. It's a racing book. Speaking of books, that's a good segue. Let's talk about the book I'm writing. So, got one more here. I started writing a sci-fi book, and writing has been tough lately because of everything going on, especially with the military stuff all last year, and then this year with the dogs and stuff. But I'm about 31 chapters into it, 56,000 words, and I'm really excited about it. You know, so I'll tell you a little bit about the characters because surprise, surprise, write what you know. One of the main characters, her name is Luna. She's an F-16 pilot, and the other main character's name's Dusty. He is a air wing pilot, deputy with the Harrison County Sheriff's Office, flies helicopters, was doing drug interdiction. And those are the two main characters for this story. Also, Elton Muskowitz, who runs Space Y. That's a joke. That's just a joke. Please don't sue me, Elon Musk. But that's kind of the outline of this. It involves a UAP, and it involves otherworldly travels. So that's what I'll say. I've really enjoyed it. Sci-fi is hard to write. It's a lot harder than writing, what I used to write or what I have been writing, because it's easier to write what you know and then research the stuff that you want to fill in the gaps versus writing something you have no idea about. So even sci-fi where you can make it up, you still want it to make sense. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a long book. I think probably 120,000 words and probably a series. Like I'm hoping it's like a universe versus just a one-off, but we'll see. Yeah. Hey, Doug. Hey, Doug. The book is for me, not from me. I said it's for you. I didn't say it was from you. It's for you. Douglas is here. Okay. He has not joined the chat. Thanks, Ian, as well. Let's see. Let's get up. All right. Speaking of Elon Musk, if Elon or Virgin Galactic gave you a ride to space flight, yes, I'll go to the moon. The moon's about as far as I'm going to go, though. Unless I can get a round trip from Mars and it's less than like a month, I'm not doing the Mars thing. I'm okay. I'm cool with that. But I definitely would do the moon or just around the Earth a couple times. All those things would be cool. There's Douglas with a handful of food. If you can own any aircraft, what would you own? Just for funsies, a 2-seat Hornet. I think that would be pretty cool because those are very nice cross-country machines. And, you don't have to pull a lot of G's. You don't have to worry about hydrazine. Obviously, I'd love to have a Viper, but there's a lot more maintenance involved. Going cross-country in a Hornet is just easy. So that's what I would do. Let's see. I buy too many books. I don't even have a bookshelf now to get this pre-ordered. Yeah. What are we pre-ordering? Okay. Does he also have a social media platform? Yeah, you just recently changed it from what did we say? I had a joke about that. It wasn't Twitter, but something else. Battlescar shirt, is it an intentional reference to the last 2 years? No, but it applies. It's very valid for that. Battlescar's obviously the racing group. I've done 2 races now with them, one in New Orleans, one in Daytona. Great group. They do what's called adrenaline therapy, and I've enjoyed spending time with them and racing with them. But and I support them. I support what they're doing. But no, yeah. And this one is from Slidell and Antonia. Many thanks to you. Oh, check it out. Officer Lemoyne. Oh, check. Wow. I didn't get to thank you for waiting with me on the side of I-12 until my dad and brother arrived. That is one of my fears, is being on the side of the road and someone not paying attention and ping-pong my vehicle. Turns out I must have gotten some bad gas or my gauge was stuck. It's all back to normal now. I contacted St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office to see how to get a note to you. They said they let you know, and you responded it was no problem and a great excuse to use your cool lights. That's true. That's exactly what I said. They even said you were a reserve and do it for free. I just needed to do something more than a message. I appreciate all you do for your community and county, and the small thing for me. Thanks for the bottom of my heart. Grab some coffee, tea, breakfast on me, Antonia. And this is a gift card for Starbucks. And the backstory to that policy with the agency is that you won't pass a disabled vehicle, especially one with their hazards on, where the motorist looks like they need help. And so I do. I take it very seriously because I like to help people. And Friday, I changed a tire on the side of the interstate. But I was just in between calls, and I actually saw this woman standing off the distance from her vehicle. So I was like, man, must be something in trouble. And I got out with her, and she was out of gas, or something had happened, a fuel gauge or something. She said she got bad gas. So she said she had her dad and brother were already on the way. So I was like, well, I got big flashy lights on this Tahoe, which I'm very fortunate to have a Tahoe. I mean, how many agencies give their reserve deputies, even though it's got 150,000 miles on it, it's still Tahoe. It's 2015 Tahoe. So very fortunate to have my own patrol unit and be able to go out and help. And that's what I did. I stayed with her and made sure she was okay, and blocked, position the vehicle to block for her. And I was happy to do it. That's just part of it. So it's one of the things. Didn't have to do that, but I'm very thankful that, she reached out and did that. So that's just part of it. Gripen Typhoon. I'd say the Gripen. Yeah, the Gripen. Because I want to go to Sweden and fly the Gripen. So I'm going to have to say the Gripen. It's a race team for veterans. Thank you, Douglas. That's better. First was the paintings of dogs playing poker, drinking beer, and smoking cigar. Now we need some painting a Luna and a Viper. Hell yeah, Luna and a Viper. Have you ever run into a fan from a channel on a traffic stop? No, not on a traffic stop, but we did have to evict someone from a long-term extended stay hotel. And as soon as he opened the door, after he had been fighting with the manager, he saw me and he was like, oh my God, it's Mover. And he was completely cool. From that point on, he stopped fighting with everybody. He wanted to show me his DCS setup. He had a little laptop and VR and stuff, and they packed their stuff and, peacefully left. That was the only time I've ever been recognized, doing that stuff. Mover, have you seen Mission Impossible 7? I have not. And also planning to start vlogging. I've always been vlogging. What specifically do you mean by vlogging? Looking forward to the sci-fi, knowing you like The Expanse. Yeah, I like The Expanse. And here's another one for you guys. Halo. I know I'm late to the party. May of 2022 was kind of a bad time for me, so I wasn't really into watching new shows. But The Expanse was great. One of my favorites. But Halo, I've got, don't spoil it because I only have 3 episodes left, but I really enjoy it. I'm really enjoying it. I know it has nothing to do with the video game. It's a simulation. Video game, always get confused now. I know it has nothing to do with that. However, I've really enjoyed it. It's very similar to the game. So the lore, it's not necessarily the game, which I think might aggravate people. But as far as just a good, fun show to watch, I've really enjoyed Halo on Paramount Plus. So check that out if it's something you're looking for. Would you be interested in rally racing? I'd try it. I'm a stock car guy. Some road course stuff I enjoy. I mean, I do enjoy road course racing, but I'm really more of a stock car kind of guy. Yeah, Eagle guys never feel neglected. They are not. Why does the F-16 use hydrazine? Hydrazine powers the EPU, emergency power unit, and that is what powers electrical systems because an electric jet, right? So all the backup systems for the Flickus, so that you can glide in, is what that powers. The F-18 has 2 engines, so if you lose an engine, the other engine powers it. And if you lose both engines, well, you're not gliding in. You don't do flame out landings in the F-18. Yeah, I'd love a ride in a Tomcat. Make that happen. A sci-fi book includes military characters. Now I'm even more interested. Love it that your female fighter pilot is named Luna. Luna is a major character in this book. In fact, her name is Luna. Her call sign's Luna, and her last name is Bell because I call her Luna Bell. So straight up ripped off of Luna's name. But much like Luna Bell Lemoyne, very smart and an awesome fighter pilot. Cornwallis Wilbur. Oh, you said wrong answers only. Charlie Whiskey. They need to bring back the Nerva engines they work on in the 60s and 70s so the traveling to Mars would not take so long. I saw a thing that Lockheed is working on nuclear power, which I thought was cool. So maybe. I don't know. Mover. And enjoy the rotary and fixed wing episode. Was curious what Osprey pilots thought. I don't know. I've never met one. Never talked to one. Our reserves get the old beat up Charger. Yeah. I mean, I'm very serious. Our agency is very good. I mean, I think Slidell gives them units too, but they're like old Crown Vics. But you know, for being, you know, parish like this and to have a Tahoe. I mean, I drive through towns and I see beat up Tahoes in small municipalities. And I'm like, man, I'm fortunate to have this. So I think it's awesome. And a lot of times they just get a pool unit. You know, they don't even get a take home unit. That's a nice car. It's scary to be stuck on the side of the road. Thanks for looking out for people. Yeah. I changed a tire Friday in 6 minutes. So that's my new record. Battlescar shirt apply. Should order one myself. Yeah. The storm has never passed. It's never over. You know, there's always something. It would be nice to get a couple wins though. That's what I'm hoping with this new podcast is we can barrel forward and keep going. So I'm glad I opened that one. That's probably been in there a while because that was about a month ago. So ever watched the Blues from Centerpoint on Pensacola Beach? No, I have not. But man, Blues do such a good show. Now that Oppenheimer is the movie is so popular, did you ever had to fly with a nuclear bomb? No, I was never part of a nuke mission. I like Halo, even though way different than the game. Yeah, you know, I'm impressed, and I didn't know that the main character guy is his brother. Played Ray Donovan and the Wolverine movie and stuff like that. It's sci-fi. So if she says future science, not sci-fi. It's sci-fi in the sense of everything surrounding. I can't ruin it. You'll see. Excuse me. Sorry. Sound like Gonky over here. Halo video games, the best narrative. Yeah, I'm planning on starting Halo Infinite. So hopefully you guys, that's a good one. $2 for Mover's personal fighter jet. Rally racing than stock car. Hell yeah, dude. Let's do it. I like any kind of racing. What racetracks have you raced on so far? So I've done Daytona, the road course, New Orleans. I've driven Atlanta Motor Speedway. I've driven Rockingham. I did a couple dirt tracks in Texas, like 281 Speedway. They're closed now, both of them actually. That's it. Nothing too much. What is silo? That sounds interesting. Okay. How long? Oh, is that the medium left guy? You're breaking the car. You're breaking the car. I am not a fan of Formula at all. It's boring. It just bores me. I can't get into it. I might like the Netflix show, but watching Formula is just because I watched a race one time and the dude made like a really aggressive pass and kind of went off the track and they penalized him like 3 seconds. So even though he had the 3-second lead or 2-second lead, which is pretty substantial, they penalized him. So he ended up losing the race, even though he's in first. And I'm like, that's just, yeah, let him race. Let him do the thing. There is a flight attendant on YouTube with a golden retriever named Luna. Nice. Nice. Yes, Nerva is the nuke engine. See? There you go. Everyone loves censorship. Yes. Govern me harder. My uncle was a pilot in Alaska. He died alone in his own plane on a fair weather day. Do you have experience flying in and around Alaska? Issues with instruments? No, I've never flown in Alaska. That would be great. Sorry for your loss, by the way. I do have experience flying in weather with issues with instruments. Hope it's not my end. I haven't seen anything that indicates that the connection's bad. I mean, this is a wired gigabyte connection, so hopefully it's not a problem. How did you come up with the name Cal for a character in your book? Obviously, I'm curious. It's the same name as mine. So when I was, but by the way, I'm horrible at naming any book. You can ask Doug. I'm just terrible at coming up with names. And so this is not because I thought Spectre was me. It was because I'm terrible at names. But when I was in the B course, they named me Cal, C-A-L, because I asked if, when we were doing the fighter aircrew conditioning test, I asked if the little weight machine or whatever was calibrated. And then I asked if the jet was calibrated later during an instrument check or whatever. So they call me Cal. And so I was like, well, his name is Cal. And then Spectre, I just thought was a cool name after playing the Mass Effect game. So, yeah. And Martin, well, that's another name. Yes, we are getting more Mover Ruins things. I probably should do another. Like I said, Call to Duty, I think might be the next one, although I have to rent it. So, but Jag is a good one. Jag was one of my favorite shows early on. Ooh, good point, Laura. 6 to 9 minute oil change or tire change, oil change. I don't do oil changes on the side of the road. If you're at that point, it's on your own. Any opinion on how freely the F-22s, F-35s could move around current Ukraine without being noticed? No, I do not want to go to jail. I would prefer not. Yeah, nuclear fighters can carry nukes. Fighters have had the nuke mission in the past. In fact, there's the nuclear consent switch on the F-16. Thanks, Christy. So did you get in any in-flight emergencies or any other incidents during your time in the Air Force? Yes. You will not fly fighters without being that. Also, why didn't you fly for the F-16 demo team? I would love to, but that's an active duty thing, and I was a reservist. So my career path has always been reserves. Air Force Reserve, and then I transferred to the Navy Reserve, and then I came back to the Air Force Reserve. So I've been active in the reserve, so on active duty Title 10 orders for a long time, got 8 years of that, but I don't have any like active duty time where I could have been like, because you'd had to be at Shaw, Viper East or Viper West demo team when those still existed. Reacher is another awesome show. I agree. I enjoyed it. After watching the series, I can't believe they put he says Tiny Tom Cruise in a movie as the same character. I disagree with that. I think Tom Cruise did a great job. I always thought that the comically huge, Reacher 6'5" thing was nonsense. It was cartoonish. It was kind of bad writing, but didn't much care for that description. But the character itself was good. So when they cast Tom Cruise, I'm like, yeah, it works. And it does. Exactly the guy I had in mind. Okay. I've already forgotten what we're talking about. Sorry. Hey, Mover, love your vids. If you have any exposure to the F-22, oh, well, yeah, I mean, I was an adversary pilot against the F-22, either going against or flying it. Never flew it, but I've got a lot of experience with the F-22. It's a great jet when it works. Haven't been around on the channel for a while. Still flying T-38s, not since January 28th, 2022. It's the last time I flew a military aircraft. Thanks, Cal. Thought I read somewhere maybe you would enjoy 3D printing. Yeah, no, I think it's great. I appreciate it. Any advice for seeking a pilot sponsorship from a local U.S. Air National Guard unit? I'm a mechanical engineer as a civilian with no prior service. Make them tell you no. Make sure you got good scores. AFOQT TBAS. When you rush the unit, so millrecruiter.com is a great place to go find out who's hiring and when their boards are. When you put together your packet, make sure it's exactly what they ask for. If they give you a template, adhere to that 1000% because it's attention to detail. That's number one. Number two, when you show up, be yourself. Don't try to be what you think they want you to be. Don't try to impress them. Just be yourself, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody that they can spend 20 years deploying and fighting with and training with and hanging out with, because that's what a guard unit does. They hire for the long haul. What's your go-to firearm these days, off and on duty? I carry a Glock 43X MOS with a Holosun optic and a Mastec. Mastec? Mastec. I need to do that review. I'm supposed to do the review on the other channel. Holster is not in here. It's over there. Yeah, Douglas says no more T-38. Curious, the Air Force issues wristwatches? Yes, so they do. And well, they did in our squadron, except Gonky didn't get one, and he says that's due to discrimination. We were issued a Garmin Phoenix. This is actually one I bought, because the Garmin Phoenix that they issued me, the buttons quit working. But I liked it so much, I bought another one. But they gave us a Garmin Phoenix, and you do a time hack at the beginning. So there's a couple ways you can get a time hack. You can go to the observatory, the clock on the website, or you can call it. You hack your watch, and then you start every brief with a time hack. But usually we use GPS in the jet for everything else. Yeah, Tom did fine as a reacher. I thought so too. What's the difference between active duty and reserve? So active duty is exactly what it is. You're full time all the time. You PCS, permanent change of station, every 2.5 to 3 to 4 years, depending on the cycle. And you're at the needs of the active duty, assignments and stuff like that. Reserve, you know what unit you're going to, and you pretty much stay there unless you wish to go somewhere else for your career. There are two types of reservists. There's the traditional reservist, 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year, 2 weeks a year. Now, however, as a pilot, much more of a commitment. It's not, you're probably 6 to 9 days a month on top of your unit training assemblies, plus your orders and stuff like that. There's also GS employees, so GS 13, 14, 15 for pilots, air reserve technicians. So they're civil service during the week, and then they keep their uniform on and go fly training periods or orders as a reservist. Then there's AGR, so guard, the full-time guys that are just like active duty. They're the ones that keep the squadron going. They do all the administrative functions, scheduling, all that stuff. And then there are people that are on orders, MPA, which is active duty funded orders, or RPA, which is reserve funded orders. And it just depends on what it is. So a lot of different pay statuses, but for a pilot, other than you just know where you are and you're not moving every 3 years, it's pretty much the same operationally. And there's a lot of associate units, classic or active associates, where either the reserves own the jets and the active duty flies it with them, or vice versa. I was in a classic associate and an active associate. Homestead was we owned the jets, and we had total force integration pilots with us. And then at Tyndall/Eglin, we were the association. So we flew their jets, but we were our own squadron. Reacher movies were great. Very wholesome. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. If you ever run out of movies, you can branch out to archaeology, mover ruins. Yeah, I'm not smart enough for that. CW stands for Cal Naughton Jr. Wilbur LeBoyne. I like it. I saw your show with Gonky and Casmo. Isn't Casmo great? Gonky's great too, but Casmo's touchdown, man. He's awesome. My dad flew Kiowas for the Australian Army when I was a kid. Listening to you guys talk reminded me of my dad having his pilot mates over for barbecues. That's awesome. Casmo is such a good dude. Very entertaining. Should have your own table at Oshkosh. Bring Gonky, though, so you can have success. God, thanks. Thanks. I have the nuke switch and a Block 15 in the Romanian Air Force. Cool. So you planning any international trips? I'm trying to, but nothing there. There's a few. Call to duty. We'll get to the emails later. I have a whole bunch of emails. I'll do it on the next mailbag, because you guys in the chat, we've waited so long that I've got so many chat. I've watched the trailer, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be entertaining to do. I had a writing question for you. How would you advise someone write military life accurately if they haven't served themselves? Do your research. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody that's done it. Speedy Speed Boy says, why do they call it oven when of in the cold food, of out hot eat the food? Did I have a stroke? I appreciate. Thank. Good question. Don't know. Yeah, AGR, Active Guard Reserve. Your favorite photo you got while flying that you can share? Huh. I like the one. That's my favorite because it's got. Let me move out the way here. This is much more difficult to do. That's my favorite because it's my city, New Orleans, and you can see the reflection. And I just love New Orleans. And there's that. I did not see that a heli and gyrocopter crashed at Oshkosh. That sucks. That post gave me a smoke. I smell burnt toast. Well, I just, you know what? It could be our, yep. What's your least favorite weapon you've had to carry in military police life? That's easy. The Beretta M9. Worst gun I've ever shot. I hate it. Hated qualifying with it. Hated having it. They were, I don't know if like the 92 FS, because I never shot a civilian 92 FS, but the rattly piece of crap M9s that we shot were just terrible. I was never a fan of it. You can blame autocorrect now. Yeah. Why did Northrop back out of the NGAD? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, they probably saw the writing on the wall and they were like, hey, we can't, the game is what the game is, Oh. Do you think we will get to drive legit flying cars? No, not in the George Jetson sense, because I think regulatory issues with certification and stuff. Think of how stupid people are. People can't drive real cars. Do you really want them driving flying cars? I mean, it'd just be like carnage. So I think there will be flying cars, but I think you're going to need, a sport pilot or some other certification private pilot to do it. I mean, because people are just going to kill themselves. Visited Bell Chase with Razzi on a school trip. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Smitty. Worst gun. Sometimes the cheese is directional. Thank you. The cheese ate the mice. There's nothing better than the Cold Horse, the Colt 19. This is blasphemous, I know, but my favorite gun to shoot is my 2011. The 2011 that we got, and I did a whole video on it. Go check it out with Deuce. We made a little spoof of Grand Thumb. That's my favorite gun to shoot. It's really awesome. I wish I could qualify with the sheriff's office. I'd shoot so much better. Yeah, Elon Musk is correct. Or, as I say, Elton Muskowitz. You see what I did there, Steve? This ain't just a hat rack. Best you'll see with flying cars is either automated or piloted. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't know. Mover, and what, in your opinion, what's the prettiest fighter? Oh, the Viper. Oh, she's a good-looking girl. It's got to be the Viper. A clean Block 30 big mouth. There's nothing better looking. Raptors are okay too, but a Viper or a P-51. P-51 is a good-looking aeroplane as well. Top fuel dragster. I got an offer to drive a dragster later this year. I need to follow up on that. That'd be a lot of fun. There's been a heli crash. Search and rescue still going on in Australia. An exercise between. Oh, that's too bad. That sucks. Not just a hat rack. My old boss used to say that all the time. I got that from him. I can't claim credit. So when you were in the Air Force, I'm still in the Air Force, actually. Air Force Reserve. And thus, views represented are my own and do not represent the DoD or its components, just in case anybody was wondering. There's lots of unforgettable experiences. I've talked about them all on the vlog. Getting struck by lightning, taking jets to cross country, deploying, all kind of stuff, man. All kind of stuff. See, we've got somebody who likes the Beretta. No. Yeah. Super Hornets look good too. Not the best. Legacy Hornet to me looks better than Super Hornet. Whoa, with that. Are we still at 400,000? I got to check the old. No. During the stream, breaking news, we are not at 400,000. We have lost 16 subscribers since I posted that this morning, and it's back down to 399,998. People did not approve of me going live. I was afraid this was going to happen. Once they hear me talk, they don't like me anymore. So, unfortunately, I am sad to report this is no longer the 400,000 subscribers edition. This is the 390. I thought we had enough of a buffer too. I thought, this morning when I woke up, it was 400,000, 14 or 16 or whatever it was. That was plenty. Took the screenshot. It's going to be fine. But as of this second, it's 399,998. Wow. I just don't know. People heard me talk. It's the story of my life. Story of my life. Back to your questions, though, because I care about you. I care about you. Yeah. See what happens? It's all a lie. In the Cold War, would you fly? Hell yes. Yeah. In the front, not the back, though. Just to be clear, because the back looks like a claustrophobic nightmare. I mean, it just looks scary. I respect those dudes for doing it. I would not. I would fly Fat Amy. She's not the best looking gal, but I'd fly it. Might not tell my friends, but I'd fly it. There will be flying cars within cities. They'll operate on automated skyways. Outside of cities, Manuel mode. People will die. Thank you. I had to take a pause when I first saw the conformal tanks on the F-16. I think they look okay. That's just me. Yes, eventually I'm going to get through all however many 20-something episodes. Oh, Linabelle's sleeping right there. That's good. She's such a good girl. She's such a good girl. Amy in hover mode. No. Are you able to disclose the highest AOA? I was ballistic, so I've been up in the it quit reading numbers. I know, Alpha. I'm sorry. I apologize. It wasn't a lie at the time. As George Costanza said, it's not a lie if you believe it. And at the time, I had 400,000. Now I don't. So I'm just a normal dude now. I do have a face for radio. What are you talking about? The 16 members who love the Beretta left. Maybe those wouldn't have unsubscribed if Gonky would be here. I don't know. Poor Gonky. Ooh. So he did subscribe, and now we're at still 300. Oh, we're back at 400,002. Breaking news. I have 400,000 subscribers again. So I'm going to end this chat now. I'd fly the YouTube, but not on like 10-hour missions, just for like an hour. Just to go see the flat earth and come back down. My wife has an Instagram channel with 14,000 followers. Whenever she posts, her followers go down. When she doesn't, it goes up. Yeah, that's exactly what YouTube does to me. Every time I post, I lose subscribers. So when you were a cop, did you have any dangerous shootouts? Still a cop, and nothing dangerous shootouts. I mean, I've been nothing like that. No. For the Fat Amy, $5, and then I found $5. Back to 400K. See, it's a roller coaster of emotions right now. The Beretta joke that ruined Mover's career. It wouldn't be the first time YouTube has ruined my career. Oh, thanks, Smitty. Depends on who you ask. With the apparent UFO craft recovery, what are the chances the reason's crash was pilot error? So, they have the tech to get here, but not the tech to successfully land and leave. Granted, that doesn't mean much. We've crashed a whole bunch of experimental stuff. If you were an Ocean Gate, if you were like sea life at the Titanic, right, and you saw a bunch of rich billionaires coming down, you'd be like, ooh, alien tech. And then they implode right above you. You'd be like, well, look at those idiots. That's got to be a conspiracy. But really, it was just billionaires. So the aliens could be billionaires that all their little alien buddies told them not to use that material, and they came here anyway, and they imploded in our atmosphere. That's a possibility. Or it could just be, if the government is being honest with you, it's probably not aliens. I like the H&K 416 for books because it just sounds cool. But I DDM4 Daniel. I've got a DDM4 ISR behind me. I like the Daniel Defense Weapons. One of these days, if you can, it'd be great to hear a mission story where you helped out some ground guys. We kind of talked about that. I don't want to get in trouble. Especially count subscribe to get you another one. Yeah. It's quite the roller coaster there. Just a big thank you for the great content. I'm not. I'm just a normal dude. Have you reviewed The Guardian? I have not. That chopper crash was the Taipan helicopter equivalent of redheaded stepchild that enjoys. Ooh. Even Diane Sawyer needed Katie Couric. Gonki's more Barbara Walters. Old F-16 chief here. Thank you for your service. We could not go without maintenance, I tell you. How many inverts does it take to get a pin cap out of my ejection seat? It takes a lot. Not in the Viper, although I knew a guy who spilled like 400 jelly beans underneath an F-16 seat, but in the Hornet, I was, Air Force guy, right? We cut the pin tab off and the jet was giving me back problems. So I was on a 1V0 and I said, well, I'll go inverted and push, give myself some traction. Well, when I did that, my pin fell out and went all the way back. And I came back and I'm like, hey, I might have foughted, dropped my pin. And this little guy, it must have been like the most flexible dude. He's like a spider monkey. He got up there, crawled back in the back in that little space back there behind the seat and found the pin in like 5 minutes. And I was like, man, that's all. You guys are awesome. BCM. Yeah. Do I have a BCM? I have a BCM something. I have BCM parts on stuff. Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Mover, you inspired me to join the Civil Air Patrol and eventually try to be a pilot in the Air Force. That's awesome. I am a normal dude. That's true. Enjoy your videos about farms. Will you do more? I'd have to do it on the other channels so I don't get demonetized. When will we hear more? So just keep asking me about it as we go. I'm still writing. I try to do a chapter as much as I can. Right now, it's about a chapter a week, but I'd like to do a chapter a day if I could. I'm going to probably finish this and start writing. And that's why I haven't been doing the Moveroons movies, is because there's only so much time in the day. And creative outlets, pick one, right? Anyway, cool. Well, I think that'll do it for today. Yeah, suffer system failures. Okay, the crafts. Yeah, maybe so. But I think that'll do it for today. I appreciate everybody for watching. Thanks for 400,000 subscribers, which, yeah, 400,008. So I'm going to shut it down now before we lose them. Thanks for everything. Thanks for being a part of this journey. I hope we get, 100,000 more. But tune in tomorrow night. We'll have the Gonky and Mover show, 8 p.m. Eastern. Should be a good time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sending me all this stuff. I'll get to the emails next time. We'll see you next time.